Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, to trust your intuition is very important in language learning, and that means listening to your inner voice. Another way of saying that is to trust your gut, or trust your belly. If it feels uncomfortable when you're learning English, don't just ignore the signs. Say something or make the change that's being asked of you. Try to address it somehow. It could be a teacher that you're wondering if things are okay with him or her. It could be a language partner. Maybe you're not sure of their motives. It even could just be a book. It doesn't feel right. But if you're getting some feeling of discomfort, that something doesn't feel okay, then you should listen to yourself, because it probably means that things aren't okay. It doesn't have to be anything major. It could just be the book is the wrong one for your level. It could be that you're in the wrong place when you're studying. It might even just be something a little bit more simple, like the kids running around you, or after 1 week you realize that you really don't remember any of your other lessons. If you are feeling a little bit like that, it's very important that you discuss them with someone. Or if you know what changes you have to make, you should make those changes, and you should make them soon. Now, I do understand that we don't always have control over the things we have to do. For example, a boss might say to you something like, well, perhaps you have to do this exam and you have to do it by the end of next week. And you have to spend a lot of time studying and thinking and worrying and learning. We've all had bosses like that before, with unrealistic expectations. That's something a little bit different, but you do still have choices there. You can choose where to study, when to study, for the best possible outcome. When you're in a long-term project, though, like learning English, if there is a voice inside you telling you that something isn't right, please don't ignore that. Try and address it. There is an opinion that says when we're learning a language, we're supposed to be suffering. No pain, no gain is something that we're taught in our cultures. That without a bit of suffering, you can't get anywhere. But it really doesn't have to be that way. These days especially, learning can be an enjoyable experience. It's not about the book, it's more about your attitude towards learning. If sitting with a book isn't your thing, and your mind is telling you that, don't force yourself to do it, because you'll just learn to hate it. So it's very important that you examine the best ways to study. Even the word study can fill people with a little bit of anger and rage, and we don't know why. Maybe because it's touching in to a feeling of the past when we were at school. It seems like we're just being told, sit down, shut up, and learn English. Gamification, learning through games these days, is very popular, and some people learn English naturally by using those. Passive learning by watching TV in the language of your choice is also another good way. Also, if your teacher isn't giving you the answers you want, you're paying money. You have a right to ask Am I getting anywhere? Are you helping me? And do a quick evaluation. The way that you'll be able to work out about trusting your intuition is to examine your joy level. Your joy level will guide you a lot in making decisions. Whatever doesn't make you happy is the thing that you need to address. And there we are. That's just a little bit of guidance there. Now, some idioms about trusting your intuition. Trust your gut. This phrase usually is encouraging you to rely on your instinctive feelings. Follow your nose. It just really means use your natural ability. Listen to your inner voice. If your inner voice is very upsetting and annoying, tell it to shut up, especially if you're sure it's just going over self-doubt. Follow your heart is another one. Listen to your inner compass. A compass is that little machine that points north, south, east, or west. And there's also another type of compass, which is a geometrical tool for drawing circles. Listen to your gut feeling. It's the same as trust your gut, really. Let your conscience be your guide is something we hear a lot in self-help books. So if you're struggling at all today, you have a right to ask yourself why and work towards change. Learning English isn't all about suffering anymore. We're no longer children, thankfully. We can choose the way we do things. So check your joy level first and see if there's any changes you can make with the books, the places, the teacher. Maybe you just need more feedback, So try to address those. Yesterday, I had a student, and during the lesson, she said to me, I'm psychic. And I thought to myself, another one. Yeah, And she said, yes, I can see things. I said, oh, really? Oh, interesting. Yeah, Are these things in English? She said, yes. I said, oh, good. Then you can tell me about them. And she said, I'm seeing colors. I said, oh, great. Let's practice colors then. What colors are you seeing? And she told me the colors. And then she said, oh, I'm sensing something from your apartment, because she could see my background on Skype. And she said, tell me, was anyone ever killed in your apartment? Because I'm seeing a nurse and blood. I said, well, I don't know of anyone being killed in here. You do know this is a Skype background. It's not my real one. But I am going to the diabetic nurse next week to have blood taken. Could that be it? Oh, I see. Well, if it's not your real background, maybe I'm picking up a different vibration. I said, well, actually, maybe not. I am going to the nurse next week and she will be taking blood, although I don't plan to kill her exactly. But yeah, that might be it. And so we kind of laughed about it. And then she started talking about intuition and trusting your inner self. And the whole thing just became like a self-help novel. But anyway, she was harmless enough, and she was talking in English, which is always what I want. I'm fine about anyone talking about anything, provided it's in English and I can correct them, But that was a strange one, I have to say. That was a strange one about the psychic ability and the nurse with blood. So either she was 100% right about me going to the diabetic nurse, or she was 100% wrong, because I'm not aware of anyone being killed in my Skype background. Perhaps I've thought about it before, but I haven't actually killed anyone. So that was very funny. So there we are. So time to review your learning process. That's never a bad thing. Just to trust your conscience. If there's anything at all right now that you're unhappy with your learning, change it. That could be the teacher, the book. Ask for more encouragement. Say what's on your mind. You know, some people, when they come to Skype English classes, they just sit there and they're afraid to speak because they've been taught that you don't question the teacher. You know, in some parts of Asia, you ask students, you understand? And they nod yes. And then you say, okay, tell me what I just said. And they can't. Life would be so much easier, you know, if you could just be confident and open enough. And hopefully teachers give you that space to be heard, you know. So it's very important, you know, to speak your mind. And there we are. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk again soon. And remember, today, if you are examining your learning materials and teachers and all the rest of it, just check your joy level. What is it that's bringing you joy? And try to let that guide you just a little bit. All right? Okay, that's it from me. See you all. Bye.